Good morning, friends. This is the Daily, the Morning Report from the Working Actor NYC. We are live on YouTube, on Facebook. Let's get Instagram up and running. There's all right. All right, let's get TikTok in the house. Yesterday, I learned an enormous amount from my father-in-law from the room full of people here. Good morning, this is the Daily, the Morning Report from the Working Actor NYC. Fix that picture up. Good morning, Mike Time. Good morning, Sarpan. Let's get that a little quiet. Yes, so I spend an enormous amount of my life trying to be seen. My father-in-law spent 90 years not needing to be. So yesterday was my father-in-law's funeral, and 90 years of life and experience was celebrated. It was a tiring day, but of course joyful as well. Maybe not surprisingly so. It was interesting seeing people from different periods of a person's life, perhaps people who haven't, been seen in years, reintroducing themselves. I was so touched that our very close friends from other parts of the country drove hours and hours just to come and support us and the family. It was really inspiring to see the community showing up for this incredible man and this life, to celebrate the life that he lived, and they knew him. It felt as though they really saw him. One thing I really loved about the words that were spoken about him was that they clearly knew who my father-in-law was, that he was wise, that he was a man of few words, that he was peaceful, he held a quiet assurance, he was humble. And there's something extraordinary about hearing people from completely different parts of a 90-year life describe essentially the same man. And that just says so much about his integrity, that who he wasn't situational. It didn't depend on whatever environment he was in. That's who he was. He wasn't someone who demanded attention. His usefulness to the world was not performative. And he accumulated relationships quietly over decades. And yesterday we got to see the evidence of that. And he had real impact in his life. And maybe one of the strange things about impact is that you don't necessarily get to see all of the evidence of it while you're creating it. Sometimes the impact of what you're doing shows up years later. So I'd be interested to see, to hear who are the people who have had quiet impact on your life. Good morning, Hansi. Thank you for being here. Nell is here. Thank you so much. Fiends is here. Hello from the Philippines. Good evening, Philippines. It is 8:05 a.m. right here in America. Well, in this part of America. I'm currently in Indiana, the Working Actor NYC. This is the morning report, the daily, the morning report from the Working Actor NYC, your place to hear real life stories, strategies for building a successful and sustainable acting career. So let me know what you're working on in your acting career. El Morgan Lee is on location this morning. Good job, El Morgan. Can't wait to hear more about that. What am I guessing? Oh, is it a period drama? That's what I would like to know, because that might be super fun. If it's a period drama, I am so excited. Oh, I am on location. You got me all excited, El Morgan. I thought you were on location. I am on location today. It's my last day in Indiana. We celebrated the life of my father-in-law yesterday, and it was a super joyful day. But I do have to fly back to New York City today, because Benjamin has an audition tomorrow morning and a travel in the afternoon. My next job starts on Friday, so off we go. But it was a super interesting day yesterday, because my in-laws are Catholic and very involved with the Catholic Church, and I'm not part of an organized religion, but I was nevertheless very happy to participate in those specific rituals, because underneath the specific beliefs and language are values that I completely recognize and honor: community, service, remembrance, living with integrity, living in service to other people, what we leave other people with. And I don't need to share every belief in the room to recognize something true in what we were honoring in Marvin Nicholson. A good life has value. Being useful has value. How you affect other people matters. And then there's me. I literally wake up every morning and broadcast myself on the internet. I'm an actor. I am a content creator. I am a coach. I have a podcast. I have the daily. I have built a professional life where visibility is necessary. And that can create some discomfort, because there's something inherently strange about wanting to be of service while simultaneously yelling, "Everybody, look at me." That's the tension. Actors cannot build invisible careers. And it's one of the things that I've built my coaching business around. One of the things that I created as a tool in my coaching business are the 4 inputs: craft, visibility, relationships, and infrastructure. Visibility isn't vanity. Casting needs to know you exist. People need to know what I do. Audiences have to discover the content. Coaching clients have to know that I can help them, right? Producers can't hire somebody they don't know exists. You can be the most generous actor in the room, but somebody still has to know who you are in order to invite you into it. It's just, just do good work and people will notice isn't a great career strategy, isn't a complete career strategy as an actor. But neither is, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, There's a distinction and a balance there. Your girl Tori 2025 wants me to do some voices. Maybe we'll get into that a little later on. Good morning, friends over on Instagram. Bonnie Rose, New York. Nathan Nolan Edwards is back. Judy Baker Acting is here. Thank you so much for participating. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career. Why wear winter clothes in the summer? Because it's cold in this room. You see that air conditioner right there? That's why, so that I don't get freezy, don't get freezy. Uh, so uh, let's see, where are we? Hello there. Hello there, Istanbul. Oh, thank you for the followers. If you're enjoying the chat and the live, please give me a follow. That's a huge help. So thank you. I am Leonard 1990. I really appreciate your support. Siren Head. I'm not sure what that means, Siren Head. Thank you for the follows, Jackie Lowe and Janissa. Welcome, La Negra Bella. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know. Oh, UAE 51 is here. Hi, Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi's in the house. Thank you, Bilal. Appreciate that. Hansi, thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate. I am currently staying in a hotel. I will be out of here in about 2 hours and heading back to my home in New York City. Because I have to get back to work. I've been here, as I say. Your comment, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. I read that. Yes, thank you. Hi, Norms from the Philippines. Castillo, I am not single. We celebrated the life of my father-in-law yesterday. So no, I am not single. I am married. And this is what the funeral brought up for me, this whole question of visibility as part of what I do, because my father-in-law's strategy for his life was not to be visible, but being visible is part of what I do. And I think the distinction between doing that in a way that honors humility. Oh, Devin Undan is here as well. Good morning, Devin Undan. But yeah, I think the difference there is that visibility says, here's what I do. And self-importance says, what I do matters because I did it. And those are sort of totally different propositions. Maybe humility isn't making yourself smaller. Maybe humility is understanding the size of your contribution. Because when you look at acting, it's not a solo profession. You can be incredibly proud of your work. You can promote the show. You can tell people that you booked the job. You can want people to see you in the job. You can want another job because of it. But while you're actually doing the work, serve the script. The writers created something. The director has a vision for it. The designers are creating the world. Other actors are telling the story with you. The crew makes it all possible for everybody to do all those things. And the performance, my performance, is one contribution to a collective thing. And I don't have to pretend that my contribution doesn't matter in order to understand that it isn't the whole thing. But that's what humility without erasing yourself looks like. And the same thing applies to the content that I create. Yes, I'm talking about myself, my career, my auditions, my mistakes, my callbacks, my experiences, my opinions. But the question I'm constantly asking while I'm doing it is, who is this for? My experience might be the material, but hopefully I'm not the point. The point is always to help someone else, to give value to someone else. Yes, I tell a callback story or a rejection story. I talk about ambition. I talk about being in maintenance mode. They're Benjamin stories, but the desired outcome isn't Benjamin interesting. It's, does this help you understand something about your career? So it's not, I think that visibility and humility aren't opposites. My father-in-law's path through life was quieter. Mine is necessarily more visible. And I don't have to imitate my father-in-law's path or his sort of way of living his life in order not to recognize his values. Maybe I don't honor a quiet man by trying to become quieter. Maybe I honor him by making sure that there's integrity behind the noise that I make. So the question isn't, do I stop promoting myself? It's just making sure that in what I'm promoting, there's something that I believe in. There's something that I contribute with that. Does it serve other people beyond my own need to be noticed? And that's how I can feel valuable even while I'm shouting about myself, as it were. That's the goal, Ajid. That is the goal. There's a difference. That's the difference. Yes, I am Rudy K. I can't remember. L. Morgan Lee. I kind of want you to collect and write some of these thoughts down. Some of these thoughts are so beautiful. Thank you, L. Morgan. A lot of these musings become the essays that I write on Substack. So they do end up being the long form, the sort of the seeds of the long form writing, and this feels like a good one to me because I think a lot of people struggle with the attention being on them. In fact, I just recently received a coaching application from an actor who loves the acting but struggles with the self-promotion part of it. And it's going to be really interesting to come up with strategies and find ways to help this actor move through the casting process in a way that still makes them feel authentic, and without feeling like, oh, now I have to switch on my extrovert character in order to book work that lets me do what I love to do. L. Morgan over on Facebook says, work that acts as service can be soul food for the one giving. Knowing others may grow as a result of your work. 100%. It's interesting because not every Broadway musical that I've been a part of feels like it's of service. It doesn't necessarily have something really important to say. And that's okay. Sometimes an audience comes to the shows that I do because they need rest. They need a place for their brains to unplug from whatever it is they're dealing with in their daily lives. And it can be a form of community, a way to connect. Sitting in an audience and laughing with the people around you creates a bond between those people that I hope helps audiences feel less isolated and more connected with the world they live in, which can be hard in a place where we're all individually staring at our cell phones. So sometimes it can be hard to justify singing and dancing for a living. Uh, but I always think that there's work being done uh, that is sometimes less obvious. Good morning, Lulu. Good morning, Tuvi. Let me know where you are in the world and what you're working on in your acting career. Min Min, I think you should definitely pursue politics law in the US and the UK. I traveled from my home in Australia to New York to study, so I am a huge advocate of expanding your horizons. It doesn't mean it's not difficult. There are a lot of inherent challenges that come along with that, but I hope that you do step out into the world. Good morning, Fari. Good morning, Philippines. Good morning, Vance V. Ellen Morgan, Working Actor NYC, and you're coaching on big forms of service. That's kind of what I'm trying to do with my visibility, with my experiences as my 25 years, over 25 years of being a working actor in New York City. I've learned things. I've had experiences that I think can be valuable to other people. And I really enjoy being able to share those things. And when somebody in the audience says, you have no idea how much I needed to hear this today. It makes it makes it so worthwhile, because I'm constantly getting evidence that me showing up and sharing my story and sharing my experience helps other people. Devin Undone, who is your favorite actor? I am my favorite actor. I enjoy my work immensely. Who else, though? Of course, I'm a huge Meryl Streep fan. I find her endlessly delightful. I get a huge kick out of Emily Blunt. I think she's extraordinary. Who else was it? Somebody else really made me go, what is that? Oh, have you seen the TV show Margot's Got Money Troubles? What's his name? Nick Offerman. Gosh, he's good. He really makes me go, what are you doing now? I'm very interested in those. If I take off my glasses, I won't be able to see anything. I won't be able to, well, I can see what's over there, but I can't see what's here. So I'm also a huge Terry Garr fan. If you have never seen Tootsie, please do yourself a massive favor and watch the movie Tootsie. Terry Garr is extraordinary in that. There's a whole lot of extraordinary performances in that movie, and it's just a great time and just the most quotable movie I've ever come across. Thank you, Devin Undone. Is my new show already out? Oh, thank you for the rose. That's hugely helpful. Thank you so much for the gifts. Please send gifts if you can. That's a huge help to the channel. And also, if you're enjoying the live and the chat, please hit the follow. Good morning, Joseph. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that very much. Is my new show already out? I'm excited to watch it, the latest one. The next two projects that I'm working on are theater pieces here in the US. So please come to the McCarter Theater in Princeton, New Jersey to see brand spanking new musical called A Beat of Our Own, which we start rehearsals for on Friday, which I'm very excited about. So the new show is it's very exciting. I'm a little scared. The new show is a musical about a Bollywood dance team at a college Bollywood dance team, and the pharmacology professor auditions for the dance team. So we start our Bhangra boot camp on Friday so that I can get my skill set up. Thank you, Vansvi. Yes, I'm very happy to report that I've lost several inches around my waist, so I'm getting back to my 28-year-old waistline. That's the goal. And unfortunately, I have not been helping myself for the last week because my, at my mother-in-law's house there are no meal times. There's just a constant snack food um, lineup. So it is very much about just fix yourself a plate whenever you feel whenever you feel hungry. So I'm afraid I have been eating like I'm on vacation for the last week and now have to get back to my regular routines. I don't know what that means, so I'm not going to say that. Um, good morning, friends. Let me check in on Instagram. I'm afraid I ignore Instagram a lot. Good morning. Hi there, Judy Baker acting. Hi, Bonnie Rosa New York. Hi, Nathan Nolan Edwards. Thank you for showing up and being here. Let me know what you guys are working on in your acting careers today. While I'm on the plane, I will be learning my lines for an audition that I have tomorrow. Daddy Sims, good morning. Welcome to the Daily, the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. This is your place for real life stories and strategies and insights into the daily life of a working actor in New York City, who is currently in Indiana, but that changes in a couple of hours as I fly back to New York because I have an audition tomorrow, so I've got to learn my lines while I'm on the plane. It's only one scene, so that shouldn't take me too long, but I want to make it's a physical comedy, so I want to make some interesting choices that make sure that I'm allowed to explore. Well, thank you, Vansvi. I appreciate that. Jardin, can you give me some vague tips about acting? I'm an extra in a short film. I have things to say about this, Jardin. Or Jardin. Jardin or Jardin? I'm assuming it's French. That's French for garden. So I'm going to say Jardin. Jardin, being an extra in a short film, anything on TV and film, if you're not the main character, your purpose is to make the world around those lead characters believable. So always make sure that your behavior in the scene is real life behavior. It may feel boring. It may feel like you're not doing enough. Let that go. Your purpose in a film, if you're not the lead character, is to make the world that lead character exists in believable. So always make sure that your behavior and is true to life. I look like your professor. Emma says I look like their professor. Good morning, UAE. Welcome from Abu Dhabi. Pinky Blue is here. Devin Undon wants to know what my favorite movie is. My favorite movie, I have several. The one that always comes to mind is Tootsie. Tootsie starring Dustin Hoffman and Terry Garr. I love that movie very much. It's an absolute go-to of mine. The other movie that I watch all the time, weirdly, is The Day After Tomorrow. I really love, for some reason, end of the world movies, and The Day After Tomorrow is one where the massive superstorms converge, and the whole climate of the earth changes. And it's a survival story. And I have always had survival dreams. I don't have a recurring dream, but I have had throughout my life a lot of survival dreams. I'm not sure what that says about me. I'm just fighting for my life out here. But I always gravitate towards end of the world movies because they're stories of survival that I enjoy. I guess I can see myself in them in some way. So yeah, those are two of my favorites. What are yours, Devin? Devin Undone? Let me know what yours are. Frank Midnight 245 wants to know if you could choose what's the best thing about the USA, about being in the USA. The best thing for me about being in the USA is that I get to pursue what I love to do. Um, this is definitely a place of opportunity for me as an actor. Back home in Australia, there were fewer avenues available for me to, fewer formats for me to explore being an actor. And in New York City, I get to explore musicals, plays, TV, film, short film, all of it. I get access to all of it. So so that's the thing that I love about being in the USA. The worst thing about being in the USA is that my family is still home in Australia. So I miss being able to spend a lot of time with my family, with my dear friends who I went to college with. So that's the worst thing for me. All right, my friends, it looks as though we've run out of steam here a little bit. So I am going to pack my suitcase and get out of this hotel so that I can catch my flight back to New York City. I I don't think I'm the right person to do that, Nan Diokin, but welcome from Vietnam. I will be right back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, but I will be reporting from New York City. So come on back tomorrow. And remember, wherever you are in your acting career, you got this. Keep going. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. All right, friends. I'll see you tomorrow at 8